How's it going, everyone? This is Fun Gaming Connoisseur, and welcome back to another video where I talk about things that are important to me in the video gaming industry. So today we're playing the Ur-Quan Masters, which is a fan remake of a 1992 video game called Star Control 2: The Ur-Quan Masters. Now this is the original game is now considered one of the greatest games ever made, and it's it's garnered so much accolades that even fans have decided to make do a remake, and that's what this game is about. It's a remake of a masterpiece, and to modernize it so that it can run on modern machines and have some enhancements as well. Okay, so right now I'm heading towards the Spathi homeworld, which is at Epsilon Gruis. And so if you can see, there are two circles. My ship is here. I'll just show you where I am. So if you can see, the whole star map is very, very big, and my starship is in Sol. Now the first circle that you see expanding out is the radius where I can travel to and back to the starbase to refuel, and the second grey circle is the distance, the radius where I can travel to wherever I want to go within this grey circle. However, once I go there, I will not be able to have enough fuel to fly back. So it just gives you an idea of how big this universe is. And so there's another game called Distant Worlds Universe, which has a very big galaxy as well. So but yeah, so this game, I'll just talk about the game as we go, and I also want to talk about a few things as we play this game. Okay, and this game has a very epic hyperspace music, so I'll just let you listen to it a little bit, once we go into hyperspace. Alright, so this game, when it first came out, I think my friend and I, we heard about it, or somehow we found out about the game, I think through one of our friends, or I can't remember exactly, but okay, so this does happen, encounters in deep space, and this is a Slalandro probe, so
we come in peace.
there you will encounter different roaming spaceships in space at random.
Remote probe programmed to replicate. Record data. Contact alien species. Priority overrides. New behavior dictated. Must break target into component materials.
Okay. Okay, so the Slalandro probe is very fast and very deadly in the early stages, so I don't know whether I'll have the means to take them out. Which ship should I take? This could end very badly for us. Okay, so the idea is to Okay, the AI is pretty smart. So if you're not careful, they can actually take you out. See? Yeah, the AI is not a pushover, so... So this is the one of the best parts about this game is the melee. You just gotta aim at it. Oh, yeah, you don't bump into planets, otherwise you'll lose crew. Man, these guys are good. What the? Okay. Hang on a second. Okay. So, as I was saying, you know, this game is a sequel to Star Control, as you know, and you know, when the first game came out, my friend and I, we really enjoyed it, and you know, back then, Star Control was one of those games where you could play 2-player. And so what would happen is one person would sit on the left-hand side of the keyboard and the other person would sit on the right-hand side. And then, you know, you could control your own ships independently. You know, one player controlling one ship and the other player controlling the other ship. And so it was a lot of fun, you know, and so, you know, my friend and I, we found out about the game, Star Control, I think somehow we found out about the game because I think it was very popular at the time. And now what makes Star Control 2 special is that it was massive in scope. You know, they took what was good again. Oh, okay. Okay, so before we converse with the Spathis, I'll just talk about what makes this game really good. So this game took what was good in Star Control 1 and massively expanded on it. You know, they did, you know, this turned the game into a massive space adventure game, and they kept the melee component, which is probably one of the best parts about the game, if not the best. And so yeah, and they put in the story, and they put all these characters, and added a lot more races, and they even added a, you know, like a apocalyptic story, so that you know, and there was a time, you know, there's time limit to this game. So if you didn't finish the game fast enough, you actually end up dying. You know, what would happen is, okay, I won't spoil it for you, but what would happen is that the dominant two species would come after you, and they will just destroy everything in their path, and then eventually they'll destroy you. So the way you lost this game was not so much through a game over screen when you ran out of time, but rather you just simply got overwhelmed and killed. You know, your spaceship was destroyed.
Surprise and terror! I am greeted by the smooth and hostile face of our old enemy, the Hootman. No, the huge clan? No, I remember. The Hoodams.
Oh, just the way I remembered it. This is brilliant.
Look, can we keep this as a secret between the two of us? It's really rather embarrassing.
Okay, so yeah, I decided to cut it short because you know, the Spathi love to talk. And if you look on the star map, on the radar, got another thing coming to grab me. Most likely another Solandro. No, Spathi again, because we're in their territory.
Hello, Ur-Quan. What would you like to threaten me about today? Look, can we keep this as a secret between the two of us? It's really rather embarrassing.
And so yeah, so this game became very popular and you know, became one of the best games of all time because, you know, they took a great, you know, they took a good game and, you know, turned it into a great game, a legendary game. And, you know, I think that's how sequels should be done. You know, I don't like to see all this, you know, like sequels that are just more or less the same of each other, you know, year after year.
Hello, Ur-Quan. Look, can we?
Hang on, are we supposed to? Yeah, so there is an option to attack the ships that you meet, but you know, it could turn out very it could turn out badly, especially if you approach a planet with all these ships. You do not want to attack.
What is the secret cipher? We are the safe ones, the Spathi High Council. You have given us the correct cipher, and so you will not be destroyed immediately. Now, if you please, tell us how you acquired our most secret Spathi cipher, which every Spathi swears never, never to reveal, even when threatened with considerable pain. And just where is this Spathi friend now? Never mind. The answer is all too obvious in your tiny, dry eyes. If you held a weapon to Whipple's head, he would say anything you wanted him to say. In fact, if you held a vegetable to his head,
I remember this.
he would probably say anything you wanted him to say.
I remember this part. I remember this. Just as I remembered it. This is so much nostalgia. Oh man. Yep, we come in peace and with goodwill.
We are too afraid of the Ur-Quan to consider such an alliance. They would most certainly punish us with extreme tortures. Hello? Hello? Awaken from your dreamy state, Hunem. Now is the time for realism, not wild fancy. Yes, your vessel is unique. And here is the crux of the problem. A unique, meaning singular, starship is not equal to the task of destroying the entire Ur-Quan armada. If you had, say, 10,000 similar starships, we could take your boasts more seriously.
Yeah, you do have to think in this game. Sometimes when you're trying to gain allies, you do have to think in terms of the kind of species that you're dealing with. So in this case, they're cowards, so you could easily try and intimidate them, but you have to do it carefully.
Well, that would probably work, but I have a better idea. A test. One of those questy kind of things. You must wipe the evil ones from the face of Spathiwa. let us explain the sad history of our species. Once upon a time, many thousands of years ago, we inhabited the warm, safe surface of our home planet, Spathi. We were happy and content. During those golden centuries, we evolved from a primitive nomadic culture into a complex agrarian society. We learned to write on clay tablets, and we were well on to being able to read those tablets when the darkness fell upon us, when the evil ones came. Creatures from the darkest pits of hell they were. They hunted our people, devoured them like tasty nodules, and we had no defense against them. Suddenly, our culture became once more nomadic. We fled across the ocean, from continent to continent, but the evil ones always followed. Spurred by our great need, we advanced from bronze to atomic technology in less than one of your centuries, but none of our innovations was a match for the evil ones' natural cunning and ferocity. Finally, with no other option available, we fled our world and took up residence here on our own moon, where we have resided most uncomfortably for the last 300 years. We will await your return with great anticipation. Simultaneously, we will prepare a short, poignant eulogy to mourn your demise.
Okay. Alright, so one other thing I want to mention about this game, and I think in general, I don't want to get in contact with these ships again, because then it would just be them asking me what do I want and what am I doing here. Is that back in the day, games like Star Control 2, when they released, they had to get it right. They couldn't release a buggy, half-working game. They had to get everything right the first time. And so back in the day, when you bought a game, you could play it from start to finish, and you could expect very little in terms of bugs. In fact, you probably wouldn't even notice that many bugs unless you went around and played with it extensively. You played with every kind of try to break the game in as many ways as you can think of. And so Star Control 2, we played it and we didn't find that many bugs except one, and that was back in the Starbase, if you sold your lander and you sold it until you got 0 and then you kept selling them, then what would happen is that you would create a bug that would create that would actually generate money for you. So that was something that we figured out almost by mistake, almost by accident. And so it's just small things like that, but by and large, back in the day, games like Star Control 2, they were released with very minimal in terms of bugs, because there was no way for companies to patch them back in the day, when the internet wasn't widespread. So these are the evil ones. So these are the evil ones that are threatening threatening the Spathis. I love this. I love the modern rendition of the evil ones. I think they looked a bit different back in the original. And they looked a little bit more. I think a little bit more like a monster. But these ones, they look like ETs. Yeah. So I think games of today, they wouldn't survive. If they were produced back in the 90s or 80s, they wouldn't survive. They'll just get customers would basically maybe either they won't buy the game en masse, or if they got the game, they'll demand a refund, and I think companies would have no choice but to refund them, and they might even face a class class action lawsuit. You know, because back then, if you released a buggy game that didn't work, then, you know, I think it would be considered a, you know, false advertising, and it would be like buying a car that was broken and you couldn't drive it. You know, so that's what it was like back then. And so I think, you know, if games of today were released back in the day, I don't think they would survive. You know, they wouldn't survive the, you know, the negative word of mouth that would be merciless in tearing down the reputation of not just the game but the company, and it would most likely even sink the company that produced the, you know, the buggy or half-working game. So, you know, back then companies couldn't do this. You know, they couldn't. Okay, shift to to leave. Yeah, so. So, you know, it gives you an idea of how different things were back then.
How go your foolishly courageous and noble efforts to rid the evil ones from our beloved Spathi? This is wonderful. Too good to be true. We will immediately begin transporting Spathi from this unpleasant moon down to the safe surface. We shall send in crustlings and the infirm elderly first as a special honor. Please come back later to receive your accolades.
Okay. Alright, another thing about this game. Okay, let me just go back.
Oh, joy! Oh, happiness! We rejoice and make merry in celebration of our imminent return to our home world. You are most heroic and helpful. Thank you, thank you, thank you! But now I must return to our festivities. Please feel free to come back any time. Why don't you just wait a while, until after we are resettled on our home world? We can discuss details at that time.
These really are cowards.
10, 15 years tops. No. We are simply taking a more adult, welcome to the real world view of the situation. We cannot simply say, hurrah! And form an alliance with you this very moment. Surely you see that.
You know, those creatures aren't dead, we have them in suspended animation. How would you like us to return them to the surface? Yeah, so this is how you make allies with the Spathi. You basically give them, you know, veiled threats.
No, please. Exactly what kind of relationship were you thinking of?
Yeah, you can actually choose how you wanna express, you know, your intentions. Yeah, I'm juggling between these two. I think it's this one.
Huh? What? Okay, we are quite familiar.
Okay.
Very well. I'll bet we will regret this decision later on, but you leave
This is
me with no
hilarious.
choice. We will comply with your needs. A Spathi delegation will depart immediately for the planet Earth.
So you basically have to threaten them until they... Oh, I love this game. Love this game. Alright, so at this point we do need to go back to Earth to refuel. And where's Sol? I think it's somewhere around along here. No? Oh, I've lost Sol. I think it's somewhere here, but I can't remember where it is. But anyway, the other thing I want to mention about this game is that, you know, back in the day, this game, you know, this is before the internet became commonplace. You know, back then when we bought you know, when we played this game, the internet hadn't come around yet. So what happened was, and back then, you know, we were just, you know, barely in our teens. So my friend and I, we actually took I think 5 or 6 weeks to play this game, to finish it, because back then, you know, we couldn't just go on Google and, you know, get hints and solutions to the you know, the problems that we were facing in this game, you know, the challenges that we were facing. And so what we did was, you know, we would explore every single star system, and we actually took notes. You know, we actually had pieces of paper that we compiled on every notable system, every notable planet that we came across, and yeah, we actually took a lot of notes. You know, what would happen is one of us would be actually maybe I'll just save the game. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just have a melee game happening so that you can see all the different ships, and so I'll talk about what I was talking about earlier. Okay, I think that's good enough. Hang on, let me just load. Oh, yeah, that's right. Where's the old Alliance ships? Okay. Okay, actually maybe I'll give you a taste of all the different ships from Star Control 1 to Star Control 2. I think that's okay. Okay, so as I was saying, you know, my friend and I would keep, you know, pieces of paper. We would compile notes, and so one of us would be playing the game, you know, taking control of the starship, and then while the other person would take notes as we went. And then after that, you know, after a while, we would swap places. So my friend would, you know, take control of the ship, and then I would take notes, and when we took turns. And so, you know, when we completed this game, it actually felt like a monumental achievement for us, you know, as kids back then, you know, as little kids. You know, it felt like a monumental achievement, and you know, that's the thing about this game, is that, you know, it wasn't just a copy and paste of the, you know, the game that came before it. Unlike a lot of games today, you know, games today, they tend to sort of just copy and paste, and, you know, maybe make a few improvements, maybe add a few little features, but you know, not to the level of Star Control 1 and Star Control 2. You know, I think the difference between Star Control 1 and 2 was so immense that, you know, but that's what we were used to, you know, sequels. That's how we knew, that's what we've come to expect from sequels back in the day. You know, we expected, you know, a new level of technology, you know, newer innovations, you know, not more of the same. And so yeah, you know, this game took, I think, 5 or 6 weeks for us, you know, for the two of us to actually complete. And that's the thing. Another thing as well, we actually had to use our brains. You know, this game actually encouraged you to think and, you know, solve problems. And, you know, if you ran into an obstacle, then what you would do is you try and think outside the box, and actually trying to figure out what it is that you need to do next. And you know, I could remember many afternoons and weekends where, you know, my friend and I basically try to beat this game, try to finish it. And when we did, you know, it was yeah, it really felt like a massive achievement. So this game is very special in many ways for me, and I think for many of us who are old-time gamers. Now, for some of you, you might never have heard of this game, but you know, if you've never played this, there's a link that I've included in the description below where you can download the latest version of this game, of this fan-made recreation of Star Control 2. So yeah, the melee is actually a lot of fun, and I think it's one of the features that made Star Control 2 so addictive. And you know, there's so many ships, and they appeal to so many different playstyles. You know, I remember my friend, he would always pick the strongest, biggest ship that was slow and had a lot of firepower and crew. And I'm more of a, you know, I would go for, you know, fast, nimble ships that had the speed. And, you know, so different play styles between my friend and I, and sometimes I would beat my friend and sometimes he would beat me, you know, in melee matches. So there's, you know, as you can see, so many different kinds of ships. Yeah, the Urs is one of the, you know, one of the most awesome ships that you could ever pilot. Yeah, I think this match can get dragged out a little bit. But yeah, I really think that this game, I think it should deserve a little bit, a lot more, you know, I really do think that gamers of today should check out this game, because this is one of those games that that are timeless, in my opinion. You know, although, you know, it is 2020 now, but I think this game will always continue to stand as a testament to what game developers try to were striving for. Yeah, this is Korra. The Korra, I can't remember what the ship was called, but it's one of the most it's one of the most menacing ships you could ever come up against.
Baby. Dummy. Dodo. Stupid. Loser.
Yeah, I love the characters. They're very memorable and very unique. They're all very, you know, sort of well thought out. I think they're not just, you know, they're not just generic cardboard cutouts, cardboard cookie cutter alien bases, but they're all, you know, sort of very unique and very they sort of stand out, you know, in their own way. So it's another thing that makes this game enduring is the characters and the alien bases.
Launch fighters.
Yeah, this is the Ur-Quan Dreadnought. This is one of the ships that my friend loved to pilot. Yeah, so my friend would love to pilot. You know, he loved the Ur-Quan and the Korra, and I would sort of always go for the faster ships like the Bakunk or the Slalandro. Okay, so the okay, yeah, so there you go. Yeah, so there you go, guys. Just showing you a little bit about this game, and so I hope that you got a good you know, seeing this game seeing this game in a bit, you know, a bit more detail, and seeing how it is oh okay, so game pause. So yeah, there you go, guys. Hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't checked out this game and you'd like to download it and have a play around with it, you can download it in the link in the description below. Please do like, comment, subscribe and share this video, and also hit the bell icon. I'll be back with more videos, so thank you for watching today. This is Fun Gaming Connoisseur. Take care and have a good day.